All right, let's play another game of Overwatch on this very happy Tuesday. Julik, I'm glad you could join me again. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, no problem. My pleasure being here tonight with everyone, with you particularly, casting this preseason match between Carolina Cosmic and London Riptires.
Oh, yes. London already being the established team. Carolina only actually being established like last week. So I'm glad that they're here. I'm glad we get to see what they're made of. And everyone's going to learn something from these matches. And of course, we're starting on Hanamura again. Why is Hanamura kind of the staple here, Julik?
Oh, in my opinion, this map has been, aside from being in the cinematic, when the game Enzo and Genji cinematic, I feel like it's a very specific map when it comes to actually working as a team. As you may already know, this first choke is extremely difficult to get through, especially when you have a very bunker down kind of defense on the defensive side. So if you're able to breach through this one and win the first battle, or maybe the second or third, there's a good chance that you're able to capitalize on that first push and get on the second point easily.
Now, Julik, I'm looking here on the Carolina. Right now, they are running as Ryan, Zarya. Healer is going to be Zen and Anna. And then on the DPS side is what I'm wanting to look at right now. We have Junkrat and Reaper. What does that tell you about their defense?
That tells me that they're looking to just face them. Be up close and personal with them. If they try to push through the point, they're going to be able to react and do a lot of damage.
Now, right now, we do have London moving up on from the other side. You usually see people run out from the right side, a defensive point of view. Right now, they do have the Ryan Zarya as well. They have both the Japanese brothers here, with Hanzo and Genji, and then they're going to be healed by a Lucio and an Ana. So they're going to be kind of doing a lot more poke. They do have more versatility when it comes to their approachability, because both of their DPS can go up through the window. Ryan has decided to dive for it. Hikari doing it outside. Chunk able to finish off Klaus right away. Lazy Healer throwing that grenade to finish off Hikari, and right now it's down 3 for London. They're going to have to back up and try again. So it looks like this bulky big door that Carolina is putting forward is stopping London's first push.
Excellent. And the one thing to point out here is if Hanzo by himself on the London side is able to create enough pressure on the Rhine shield from Carolina's side to actually help on the push.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to see him get that shield down pretty quickly, because then they can start poking a lot more. We have Genji flanking around through the window. Dante going to be uncontested again, because right now, nobody has a lot of verticality over here on Carolina. Got fire in the whole command from Chunk, who decided to do it out in the open. Hickory is able to charge him down, but Chunk's tire does find Miko. Taquito King does get Bobbin and Dante. Lazy Healer falls to Dread, and right now it is only just one person. They're going to start pushing forward just a little bit. Hickory deciding, you know, it's just me and Dread here. Dread, if he could have gotten away with that energy, that would have been something to write home about. Unfortunately, that's going to be another full hold for Carolina, so London's might have to switch up a few things, and it looks like they are.
Carolina making an interesting play here with a Lazy Healer and a nano boosting their Zarya Nocturno, who was over 80% charged to almost 100. And he was able to capitalize from that nano and completely destroy the team that was only...
Oh, yes. A Blade and a Shatter. Shatter not going to find anywhere. And Blade, unfortunately, is going to get Chunk. Anabugas falls down to Bobbin, who had switched on to the... Brigida, a grab with no follow-up over on the side of Carolina, unfortunately means that London is going to start cleaning up. Taquito falls to Hickory, and Ash is going to fall to Dread, and that's going to be a cap here for the London Riptires. The change to goats seemed to work with the change to quote-unquote goats, but it's more or less triple heals. Dante being the Genji staying there to use his blade and keeping the Orion Zarya.
Excellent use of the Shatter by their Rhine on the London side.
And they're just going to move straight to the point. Taquito King falls down, trying to get him as they enter. However, Bobbin does get the sun off to him, but he does get one person down. Dread does fall to the Reaper ult before anything else happens. Taquito King also getting Klaus. Chunk is going to finish off Bobbin. Miko does get Taquito, and right now it looks like a full hold, or a good hold right now by Carolina. So they're doing decent tactics right now. They did stay more on the point. They did fall down when they needed to, but it looked like London decided where they're just going to push forward, because as their comp was made, and it still is, there are no switches, because they do have 4, almost 5, then 6, or 3 ults, 4, and then 5 coming up online prior to this next fight. No real changes there. And what do you think about Anubis going down to an Orisa from a Reinhardt?
It's an interesting move. He did use the Rhine Shatter, but now here we go with Nocturnal using the grab, and Ash using his Sim ult, trying to counter the Ryan charges coming in along with Moira's ult.
Good grab, then countered by the Transcendence of the Zenyatta. Right now, Hickory does finish off Lazy Healer, so right now it is kind of back and forth right now. Miko finishes off Chunk. Takedo, a Shatter does put down nobody in particular. Hickory just using his Shatter, trying to get maybe Anubis, who unfortunately did have his Indomitable up. But that is going to be enough to kind of push him back, and they got 2 ticks going to third one, trying to get somebody on there to stall. Lazy Healer, unfortunately, getting pushed back as much as possible. That was a well done push by London to get onto that point. What happened there, Julian?
Excellent second push by London. What happened was the swap between Reinhardt to an Orisa by Anubis. That, in my opinion, hurt their defensive side because Zarya was no longer able to get that extra charge that she needs to be able to maintain and sustain herself defensively. With that swap, also left the mobility side of things very.
There's no charge with Orisa.
Exactly. So yes, Anubis did use the ult, the Rhine Shatter, and wasted it on the defensive side. That's why he swapped. But I don't think on this particular point, not being able to have flexibility, mobility, specifically verticality, it's something that you should aim for.
What he might have been thinking, and what I'm trying to realize, as somebody who does play tank quite often, and when I go between Ryan and Orisa is able to put more pressure and damage out there. And he did decide to not go on the top as often. He was up there, but then he stayed down. Orisa is able to kind of sit there and bunker and put pressure on it while she's trying to stall the point, versus Ryan, who would just put his shield up and stand there. So maybe that was a thinking behind that, but I would have liked to see more switches to maybe kind of go with that. It seems that that's kind of what happened in my mind, but that's all I can think of going back and forth between Ryan and Orisa.
Another quick swap that they should have done, in my opinion, should have been Chunk, moving from Junk into something more like a cheese, let's say a Bastion, because now you're not only not charging their Zarya, who, by the way, Dread has been very crucial to their every single push, but you're also benefiting from that shield and the high ground that they were lacking, because in essence, they were only shielding Orisa and Diana. And that was it. So,
right now, London on defense.
On the offensive side.
London on defense is going to have my ever favorite Mei. Mei is amazing. Going to be, of course, using her wall. Sometimes I like to hide to the right of the point to make sure they don't even know we have a Mei until they push forward just a little bit and get that guaranteed kill by zoning 1 or 2 of them off. But we're going to see what happens with them. They're going to hopefully Dante going to get some picks right now. A fantastic sleep onto Anubis, but unfortunately does get, or not unfortunately, but well done is going to be that Zarya bubble. And goes the Mei wall. Klaus finishes off Anubis. Nothing they could really do. They should kind of back up here. They shouldn't keep pushing forward. Takedo King maybe pushing forward to get more charge for the Zarya, maybe getting some ult charge for himself, but using Wraith actually to literally just get charge for Nocturnal. I like that play.
I hope that Carolina steps back a little bit and wait for the Ryan, who now is back on the front line.
And now they're going to have to wait. Takedo King and Lazy Healer. Dante's poking through the window. Does find a healer in the back line. Bobbin going to finish off Nocturnal, who was fully good charge. So it's actually a huge loss. Now they're going to have to wait for half their team to res and come back.
And now we got Chunk going into the Sombra. Now we're going to hopefully get some EMP combo after this pause.
I'd like to see Chunk do some more plays. What she needs to do is teleport maybe through the window and get the hack onto Mei. That'll allow the team to actually push through this choke point. Otherwise, they're going to get stopped. There's no verticality beyond Dante or beyond Sombra, who can actually come through above the point, above the Mei wall. So when we see a wall coming from London, there's nothing that Carolina can do to get through it. They can try and damage through it. They got one of the Mei wall pillars down, but that was it.
Yeah, and when you have a Mei against you, it is not the best way to kind of push your way through, because that's what she does. If you're trying to push your way through, meet your way through the choke, when there's a Mei that can divide that push, you're essentially wasting time. So what they need to do is something like Chunk. Chunk needs to make a massive play, because getting through on this choke, whether it's in the main entrance or the top left or top right, whatever side you're looking at, it's gonna be a challenge. So he needs to be able to take care of Dante, who's covering the top right, doing a great job on top right, and make sure that he can get around and benefit from that Sombra abilities.
I agree. Now, when I'm trying to think of what can the attackers do to kind of counter this, what popped in my mind was do an attack Mei. If you wall off the front, in a direction of which you're choosing, maybe towards the room to the left,
Ooh,
you might be able to get Taquito finishing off Dante, who was not able to use Ryan's shield. And a hack onto Bobbin. The team needs to move forward. Right there, hacking the Mei, and then everyone moves forward on that call. Great play so far. Because you can't be able to figure out Bobbin. That's both DPS down. Ash does fall, and Anubis falls down to Dread. Unfortunately, it's going to be 4-on-4 right now on the point. Hickory going to win that battle against Nocturnal since he is nano boosted. Also finishes off Lazy Healer with that fantastic Fire Strike. And they're going to just continue pushing back, and it's going to be Chunk trying to jump off. But I love the coordination there. Chunk did exactly what he needed to do. He hacked the Mei, and then he used that time to tell his team, move forward now. But it was still a great hold by London.
Honorable push by Carolina. That pick by Taquito was key for the push. The hack on Mei was extremely well done. Unfortunately, they lost that one battle.
And London still has grabbed a combo with either DPS, either the Mei ult or the Dragon Strike, which is more common. And all they have on Carolina's side right now is going to be a Shatter, and High Noon is actually almost up online. Chunk getting really, really low, who decided to switch onto a Hanzo, hoping to get some picks. Dante Weasel getting low, getting half health. Babin getting really low as well. So right now, London's having some trouble keeping up with all the healing and the damage that's coming out from Carolina. High Noon going to come forward to help push this down. Grab coming out. Is there a follow-up? Here comes the Dragon Strike, and there goes down all of Carolina down in the Dragon Strike. And Hickory helping out with swinging his hammer. There goes the combo we all know, love, and hate.
Dante stepping up with the massive Q alongside his entire
the massive
team
button of
holding
Q.
that front line.
Now, I want to commend something very much. London did not use any other ults. They held on to all other ults, so they only used the two. A Shatter comes out, does get Dread in, Bobbin down, a Transcendence trying to keep him up, and it's successful. Dante does finish off Anubis before he can finish anybody off with a charge whatsoever. Grab coming out from Carolina, going to be used Coalescence to counter that right now, keeping all of his team member up. Klaus does fall down to that Coalescence, and right now they have charged back to the point. Lazy Healer gets hit down, and Dante is able to finish off another Shatter just to kind of finish off anything that was left for Carolina. Babin finishing off Ash, and Dread going to take down Taquito King. There is going to be possibly just this last push, but ults upon ults upon ults being used. Nothing
Pressure
in...
on Carolina. Pressure on Carolina. They have 18 seconds sub on the clock. Let's see what they can pull out.
I'm hoping that Lucio can get his ult up. Chunk does have Dragon Strike. He's going to have to use it. The wall is up. They need to use this time to everyone come together and push forward right now. Dragon Strike coming out just to try and zone a charge from Hickory. Here comes out the Mei ult trying to just keep zoning him out. Chunk does fall to Klaus. They're moving all the way to the point. Dante Weasel finishing off Ash. A Dragon Strike coming out from Dante. Not able to finish off with that, but the regular strike is going to get Anubis down. Lazy Healer falls to Miko. Taquito King finally getting killed over for Carolina. High Noon gets Miko down. Miko also takes Taquito King down after he dies to the High Noon. I love it when that happens.
Excellent defensive play by London.
London's going to get that solid defense. I love seeing when Anna knows that she's going to die, but she gets that last little shot off on whoever's going to ult her to death, and the damage over time kills him. Dante, this is probably going to be that fantastic grab. Dragon Strike. Nothing Carolina could have done to stop that. They didn't have the counter healing ult of Zenyatta in a Transcendence. And maybe that's something they should have looked for. They should have noticed, oh dang, they have a Zarya and a Mei. Dang, they could combo with either one of those DPS and they're going to just destroy us. And sometimes that's all the reason you need for one of your off healers to be Zenyatta.
That's what they did not have. They had a Lucio, Ash, who was doing well, but unfortunately, when you know that there's going to be a Dragon combo, you need to run Ascend. And then they lack that. But I would like to point out, aside from having Dante doing a crazy Q combo with Dread, who was also great, supporting Hikari, a great Ryan, and, you know, Babin doing his thing, I would like to point out Miko, Diana for London, who was crucial, extremely crucial in the last two pushes made by Carolina. Not only did he sleep an ulting McCree to cancel his ult, but also was extremely intelligent in the usage of his ult.
Yes.
Always making sure that his main tank, Hikari, never died and was able to successfully survive those two pushes.
I love seeing Anna coming back in there. She was not seen very much in the OWL Season 1, but now that I think they're realizing, oh, these GOATS comps, which is literally 3 tanks and 3 healers, are coming more prominent, then what you're going to see is that Anna grenade, well placed, is just as important as to call out as a Zenyatta Discord orb. So I'm glad to see Anna's shining.
Yeah. I'm extremely happy to see Anna back on the lineup, where you can actually mix and match with so many other supports. Anna works well with Moira, with Mercy. If you're running a Pharah, you can even support Pharah while Mercy pockets Pharah. And you always, it's best to always have a Zen.
Yes.
It would have been helpful in this case for Carolina. But Anna, she's back in the game, and Michael is doing a great job with Anna for the London side.
And that's just match 1 on Hanamura. It is going to go to London Riptires, and let's see what Carolina is going to be able to bring to the table on the next one.